fare shuffolato solo in treno. Seduti. I ragazzi che filmano sono più tranquilli. Devono fare quello sbattimento lì, tutto all'indietro, che poi sbatti contro l'idrante, contro il palo della luce. E lì proprio è scattato. Occhio!
This is Oxford Road, and it's actually one of the busiest roads for buses in Europe. So,
in Europe?
Yeah, so the number of buses that come up and down this road are actually so regular that they've said it's the busiest bus route for one single road on this road, Oxford Road, in Europe.
Wow.
Which is great for Manchester because it's really connected from the south into the centre. Yeah. But it's also one of the most polluted roads.
Really? Because of the bus?
Because of the bus, so it's got its own sort of micro pollution.
Right. But it would be worse with cars.
Can you smell it?
Yeah, I know. It doesn't smell like fresh mountain air. But the video game store, I'm really excited because
you like your games? You like your video games?
Well, I'm old, so I like vintage video games, you know.
So vintage, who would that be?
Well, you know, like Tetris.
Yes.
I'm really big on Tetris. Pong.
Yeah.
You know, just with the two.
They call me quite, yeah, but I'm a diet. Mary Jo Lisa, always the same. That's not my name. That's not my name. That's not my name. That's not my name. Are you calling?
But Steve, while being a director, you've also been working here for quite some time.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
How long?
Oh, gosh, I've worked here for 20 years now.
20 years? Did you celebrate your anniversary yet?
No, dear God, I can't. No.
Were you, like what usually happens in this type of situation, a customer before you became...
Yeah.
You were, right?
Yeah.
And Affleck's was a big institution, even back in the days?
Yes, it was, yeah.
How long has it been an institution? Like, a little before...
82.
82?
1982. I was 17 when it opened.
Wow. Was this like a place to hang out on Saturdays?
It was.
Saturday afternoon, yeah?
It was. It was the sort of place that didn't exist at the time in Manchester. There was nowhere else. The girl who opened it, Elaine Walsh, she was like a real sort of Mancunian visionary.
Right.
And she more or less invented the Northern Quarter single-handedly.
Right, because I figure like before this place there probably were like little stores like
tiny little places.
Tiny,
but you know, it's in the 80s there wasn't the industry there is now in alternative. We all used to buy our clothes at Oxfam.
Oxfam, what's that?
It's a charity shop.
Right, like Salvation Army.
Yeah.
No, but we figure, you know, were you always in this spot, or you've been?
I've worked in various stalls. This is just the latest one I work in.
All right, all right. But you must have seen like hundreds, I mean, maybe thousands of kids going by, right?
Oh, God, millions, mate, millions.
Right.
No, the kids from 2012 have got no class.
You think so?
They're very, very boring people. Back in we were far more interesting because we were not obsessed with the past. We were obsessed with the future.
Right. What do you think goes, you know, the most for kids now? They look a lot at vintage, like even, for example, the video games, you know? I've seen like kids that are probably 19 looking at the video games that we used to play with, you know, back in the days.
Like I say, the kids today are boring. Everything's off the peg. And that is our generation's fault. We've turned them into zombies.
Huh. You're very rough on today's kids, huh?
They deserve it. They really do. They're obsessed with technology, but there's nothing behind just the mindless worship of technology.
I said that just before talking about the video games. I'm afraid I'm starting to sound like an old person. You know, I'm like, oh, we kids of the 80s, we used to have so much more. You think it might be true? Do you think these kids are going to say the same to their kids?
Well, we had it harder. I mean, I wouldn't like to say what it was like in Italy, but in the UK in the 80s, it was, nobody had any money, nobody had any jobs.
Right.
I was on the dole for years. And you had to, well, you really did have to make your own entertainment.
Yeah.
It was good, it was exciting. It taught you to be self-sufficient, it taught you to be creative.
Right.
We were informed by the punk movement. I mean, I was into punk when I was at school.
Into punk, right.
And what we were obsessed with was destroying the past. Because the past was rubbish, the past was useless.
Even the Beatles and the Stones.
I hate the Beatles and the Stones, they're shit. Dinosaurs, that's what we used to call them, dinosaurs. Fuck Mick Jagger, fuck Mick Jagger. In 1982, I was into people like Cabaret Voltaire, Psychic TV, quite a lot of the sort of post-punk thing. Sort of like got into sort of people like towards the end of the 80s. I was into like the shoegaze kind of bands.
Huh. shoegaze is a term that was born in those years, like late 80s.
Yeah.
I have a friend, like a music journalist, that told me that shoegaze comes from just people staring at shoes. Is that true?
Yeah, I think the person who came up with that one was Steve Lamacq. He's a DJ on Six Music now.
Okay.
But they all had very deep fringes, and they had quite a lot of effects pedals.
Right.
So they had to keep looking at the pedals to work out.
So they needed to look at the pedal.
Yeah, so they were proper shoegazers.
What do you see happening now for, you know, say the new generation? Like, say somebody who's like...
Well, I'm hoping that the children, well, the kids today, their children will kill their parents. Not literally, but metaphorically. They've got to rise up and, you know, they've got to, you know, have their own little revolution. Things are going to change. The generation, the youngsters now, are the product of the great lie propagated by Western governments, whereby you can exist on credit and you can just keep buying and buying. And they created this fake boom. And all of a sudden, when the credit crunch happened and the rug was pulled, it's like I cheered. I thought, fantastic. The soft life is over. It's time for hard, committed life. This is the time for revolutions.
Talk about movies, though. I see you're reading like Sight and Sound because are you working on anything new today?
I'm working on a couple of things, yes.
Yeah. What do you usually do?
Well, I'm trying to get back to sort of like my sort of Dadaist roots, really.
Huh? Wait, are you looking into the past?
No, I'm trying to reinvent the future by referencing.
Ok.
Questo è un po' in via Torino, secondo me. Mi ricorda un po' i tempi in cui c'era Inferno e Suicidio, Zack Style, Transex, via Dogana, bella per Transex in via Dogana. No, ma cosa avete capito? Cioè il negozio, il covo dei metallari di Milano per tutti gli anni '80.